Hello and welcome back to Nagasaki. We're back. Thank you so much for last week. It was amazing. This week we're building the bit just to the north of where we were last week. I'm going to continue on, and I do some really cool stuff here and I absolutely love it. And I really want to show you. So, you know, I don't want to waste any time. Don't want to waste your time. Don't want to waste mine. So, let's roll the intro. So, I just want to start off by saying one simple thing. This episode's slightly smaller. Not by much, but it is. Anyway, back into the actual build itself. So, I'm building up this area at the top here to start with, and this is just going to be it's a bit of a filler episode. I'm doing a few little areas across the north area here, just to kind of fill in some space. Again, bring people into the area, work on my demand levels, because you might not be able to see them, but they are large. I thought I'd add that in there occasionally. I'm not a big fan of the demand, dealing with that at the beginning of a build, to be honest. I tend to build it afterwards, so because I'm building a lot of PO buildings in this and a lot of custom stuff, and then I'm going back in with the blocks and adding the surfaces to them. So, you know, that's when the demand will start getting used and start getting utilized. On screen now you can see I put down several different buildings here, and you know what, most of them get deleted. I had an idea and it didn't work, and so I changed it. No cool ways. I'm trying to do as best I can off what the area actually looks like according to Google Earth, and anything like that. So, you know, photos that I've got from people, and I've received quite a few of them through Discord, which is great, of different areas and different custom builds that I could do, and, you know, again, assets that I'm making, that type of thing. So, you know, it's kind of cool to see, and thanks so much for that, because it really does help me out here. So yeah, I'm just kind of filling this area in, and like I said, this build seems to be a lot of that, but I do see some cool stuff that I do want to talk about as and when I get to them. So in the meantime, I'm going to leave you to watch a video and enjoy it. You know, some music in the background, and just, you know, kind of leave you to it. This one's going to be more of a classic me video where I don't talk as much, but only when I need to. But before I go, the bento factory is lovely. Whoever made the asset, I apologize for getting your name, but that's a phenomenal asset and I really love it. And I find someone to put it in every build I make. Okay, just a quick one. I'm building this car parking here, and I had this issue where I completely forgot that I'd asphalted over what is basically a hole in the ground, and so the cars were kind of in there sideways, like very angled and stuff like that. It was weird. You kind of had like a bonnet sticking out the ground. I'm pretty sure I fixed it for cinematics, so I'm pretty sure that's when I noticed it. I'll tell you what, one thing I really do love about Japan is being able to do this, to cover anything up with a sign, a billboard of some kind for anything. It doesn't matter. I think this is one for, is it a prep school one? Something like that, I don't know. It's a sign. And you know what? It covers it up because this area is a bit overgrown, but you know it is. And to tell you what, talk about overgrown, I do a lot of greenery work in this, and it doesn't look like much when you first see me do it because I'm just plopping stuff down, and I do think about it. I do work it out, and you'll see things like that in the cinematics when you actually see them at the end of this video, and you know, you can see that the greenery to me looks amazing. I really love it. And yeah, now I'm just filling out spaces. Get left with a lot of random spaces in these kind of builds, and you know, because my scale isn't 100% perfect, it was meant to be, and for some reason it just didn't work. I don't know why. Because I had a perfect scale map and built my map around that, but for some reason the game just doesn't let you do 100% scaled. It just really sort of like throws it off because the buildings aren't always scale, are they? So scale. I don't know why I did that. You know, they're not. So you know, we have to go in and make do with what we have. And I do things like this. So, you know, we've got things like the trash areas. We've got the bins. Trash areas and bins. They're the same thing. Vending machines. Electric parking. Because it's the future, people. People should be driving electric. And that's, don't know why I said that either. That was a little rant. Look after our environment. We need that electric vehicles. Maybe not at the moment. Price of electric's expensive, but then price of petrol's expensive too. So we should all walk, ride a bike. Probably the best way for the environment, isn't it? Let's go back to the screen. I'm building a bridge. There's a lovely like footbridge in this area, and I wanted to kind of make it my own a little bit. So I used this really nice bridge here. I changed it a few times, and you know, later on I'll go in a couple of episodes later, I add a few more bits to it. It's kind of cool, and you know, yeah, it just looks nice. It took me a while to get it to work properly because of the angles, to get the footpaths to fit in the right places, but I did, and I managed it because yeah, I persevere and I keep going. And more greenery, more rubbish, more decals, and you know what, you can spend hours and hours detailing an area and really put some effort into it, weeks, months detailing an area, but a couple of decals, some greenery, and that area just gets transformed and looks so amazing. And to be honest, they're amazing. What is the matter with me? And it looks absolutely amazing. I'm trying to be serious and I ruin it. Yeah, seriously, it looks absolutely amazing, and it is a really simple win for anybody getting into detailing in any way. You know, bit of greenery, a slightly different design on a plant pot, or you know, some decals to show the ground being broken or stuff like that, or different color, bit of pavement, maybe it's some nice brickwork or anything like that. And it's an easy win to make an area look a lot better than it would have done if you just put a building down. And to be honest, like I said, you spent months and months detailing up an area, and it could look rubbish, look overdone and too much. Sometimes in this game, going over realistic doesn't work. You can just really ruin it because the game isn't designed to handle it, so it just doesn't work. So a few little things there, and you'll see in this build next to it, you can just about see the red floor there. You know, I do a lot of that, just decals. I've changed the color of these pots, put a different texture on them, so that's what the ground. Little wins really work. Anyway, just a random bit of advice for everyone who wants to get into detailing. Trees, greenery, few decals. Make it look so much 100% better. From there, you'll get into the rest of it. Now, someone please tell me, because I might be just crazy, but for some reason, the mod Hide It Bobby has an option to turn off that ploppable, like, dirt that comes up that you see everywhere. But when you use Pop Line Tool, or you delete something, it doesn't get rid of it for some reason. Don't know why, just doesn't do it. It's annoying, and I don't understand. So whether there's an issue with that mod and it needs to be looked into, I don't know. But for some reason, it doesn't work. And I don't know why. Anyway, just thought I'd add that in there. And I know at the beginning I said this is going to be a classic Sakura video where I don't talk as much, and I've just spoken so much, but I'm really loving this, and you know, there's a lot to talk about and a lot to enjoy, and you know, it shows that I'm enjoying this build because I am engaging and loving it. So yeah, take that, naysayers, if there is any. There probably is somewhere, isn't there? But I don't care. And back into the build. It's just my way out of any rant, that, isn't it? Just back into the build. I feel like most YouTubers use that when they're ranting and going on about something that no one really cares about or is listening to, and they just go, oh, back into the build, and all of a sudden your attention's like, oh, what? So yeah, with that in mind, back into the build. Over to you, Sally, with the build. Anyway, yeah, I'm just detailing up this area now. I'm adding some of these lovely sort of shop fronts and, you know, things like that, like shelving with some food on and different things. You see that a lot in Japan as well, especially in like places like Osaka and stuff like that. When you're going through those arcades, they have these lovely sort of like open arcades. They have roofs over them, but they're open at the front and the back. There's no doors, and you see it a lot where you see a shop and they'll just have all their shelves pretty much outside, and you just go inside to pay. It's so cool. It looks absolutely amazing. I love it. But yeah, I wanted to mimic that here, and I do it a lot in different places just to kind of have that area looking really busy. People are going to go surround those bits, and yes, they're props, so we're going to use things like the boom markers and stuff like that to get people there. But yeah, it just makes the area bustle and the area pop a little bit, and yeah, I love doing it. I'm doing more road marking. Yeah, there's going to be a lot of that in this. Apologies, but I've got a road mark, so deal with it, I suppose. But yeah. This is now getting to the bit that I absolutely loved. I really loved doing this whole section because I'm doing it on slightly different levels, because that's what it's like in the area. There's this little raised car park here behind this building I'm putting in now, and you know, I really wanted to make it kind of work, and it took ages to do, but it looks really nice. And you know what, actually that's a lie. The build of the car park didn't take ages at all. This building took ages, the building that goes around it, because I just couldn't figure out what I did. In the end, I just custom built the whole thing because I tried to PO a building to make it look nice, and it just looked horrible. The textures then started going off, so I just kind of thought to myself, you know what, forget it. PO wins, hands down. Didn't even need to flip a coin. As soon as my mind said, have you ever thought about PO in this building? I was like, you're right. Why don't I ever listen to you? PO, 100%. And I'm back in it, PO in it. Again, I'm just playing about with textures to make it look really cool and different. And you know, look, these pillars, it's little things, but PO has so much power to make a building really change. You know, I've gone in with what is basically a retaining wall. It's a prop retaining wall, of course. And I've made it into this whole section of a building that fits the bit I've got on the front. When I do the roof, it fits, trust me. It might not do now, but when it's finished, it fits. You need to trust me. I've never steered you wrong. Or have I? You'll never know. No, I haven't. But see, look now. Anyway, it looks good. It fits the area, which is great. Now, onto that car park that I kept on promising everyone at the beginning. You know, I love doing this because it's on a different level. There are ramps going up and down and all over the place. And it was so much fun to incorporate this like parking area within buildings. So we've got the flats there and the office building one side, and have that not just the parking area, but also loading bays and stuff like that. And you'll see me build all that in a bit, and it was so cool. I absolutely loved it. And yeah, I just had to tell you about it because it was amazing. It was such a fun build. Finding all the assets afterwards to do the signs and the actual parking bits, the decals for this area, the doors, and yeah, you know what, this is one section that I saw quite early on and I really wanted to do. I was like, this bit's kind of look great. But I felt the tram station was the best place to start so we can get some public transport going within the city, and also I'd already built the tram, so I kind of wanted to show it off quite early on. So yeah. Bit selfish, but you know what? It was a great first episode and I loved doing it. So yeah. Putting down the parking spaces now, and they're really weird in this section. On the actual build, they're all over the place. They're angled and that type of thing. But in Japan, you tend to see parking spaces in front of each other. And I thought that was really weird, but the place I work now, they do that as well. So it's not as weird as it sounds. I always feel sorry for the person that comes in first, because, like, you know, they come in first, they leave first, and they're kind of just stuck there, aren't they? They've got to go find the person who's parked behind them to move. Anyway, back to the build. Yeah, I did it again, you see, back to the build. Got your attention after a little random rant. Say rant, talking rubbish, total bollocks. But I got your attention again, and come back for more random rubbish. No, seriously, back to the build. Yeah, I'm just popping down some decals here. I'm going to do up this whole area. Going to get behind it. Going to build some more buildings. Because it's City Skylines, and what would it be without buildings? We need buildings, of course. Again, as I mentioned earlier, going to sort out the signs here. Do all this area up. It's going to look cool. See you in a bit. Okay, so we're now at the end, and thank you so much to everybody for watching this episode. I hope you enjoyed it. I loved doing it so much, and I hope that comes across because I really am enjoying this. It's an amazing build, it's an amazing series, and I apologize that I just sometimes talk rubbish. You don't have to listen to me. You can just unmute me and enjoy the video and look at the build, skip to the cinematics, whatever you want. As long as you're enjoying the content, that's all that matters to me. I put little chapters in the description so you can skip if you want to. Please watch the whole video if you can, but you know what? I'm not one of those guys that's like, you have to watch it all. I put all this effort into. Yeah, I do. I enjoy it. I love it. I love seeing the final piece. It's great. My friends watch it. You know, if you want to watch just the cinematics, because that's all you're really into, skip to the end, watch the cinematics and enjoy it. But as always, thank you so much for your support. If you did that, click the like button at least, so you do support me in some way. Also subscribe if you're new to the channel, and if you're regular and you're here all the time, please subscribe too. Leave a comment down below. I love reading them. I love to reply to them. My Patreon link's down there, my Buy Me a Coffee account's down there, my workshop's down there, all my socials are down there. And before I go, I just want to mention one thing. You know that little bar down the bottom there where I've got the cover that says Visit Nagasaki, or Let's Visit Nagasaki as it were, and my name and all that stuff? You may notice the picture changes, and that changes because I changed the image, and it always matches what I'm building. Have a nice day.